everybody. Welcome to episode 10 of Midwest Rest. Thanks for being here. Got a pretty good show lined up. I mean, it's a little milestone for me, 10 episodes. I was a little worried at the beginning. I didn't think they were very good, but I stuck with it, and I'm really proud of what I've been able to do with this and where it seems to be going, and I'm happy with the reception I've gotten with it, and I'm just glad that I stuck with it because it's something that keeps me happy, and it's something that I really enjoy doing, and I want to keep doing that, and I want to keep doing this. So thanks for sticking with me. 10 episodes. It wasn't easy, but we got here, and hopefully we go more. I got Stone the Thrones on for the interview. It's a pretty big one. You've probably heard me talk about them a couple times on the podcast. They're a local band out of here in Kearney, Nebraska, and they just kill it, honestly. They're a 5-piece at the moment. They've got a killer singer, Maria. She's got a great voice, and the whole band behind her, they just mesh so well, and they're playing really interesting things behind her, and I think it's all just a really great mixture of different things, and it just comes together so well. I'm really happy to see where they're going and just what they've done. They haven't been together that long, but it seems like it's just grown so fast. And I'm happy for them, and I'm excited for you guys to hear what it's like being in that band and their approach to music and what they're trying to do. Because it was really fun having them in here. So hope you really enjoy that. We actually played a show, Cruise Control. We actually played a show with them on Wednesday, as well as PBR, Personal Blues Revelation. They're also out of here from Kearney, Nebraska, and it was really fun. We played in Lincoln at Duffy's Tavern, and it was just a good time. It felt really, really cool to be there with fellow Kearney bands in Lincoln, kind of taking over for the night. And it was a Wednesday, but we had a pretty good turnout, and the crowd was receptive, and it was just a good time. And I'm happy I got a little bit of their set. I'm happy I got to record some of our set. We did a little jam with them at the end as well. It was just really fun in a good environment, and hopefully we can do some more shows together. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, it's been interesting lately, kind of seeing how things have been taken off and where things can actually go from here. And I'm talking about, like, for my band, Cruise Control, or even just this podcast, like, there's a lot of opportunities coming up, and I don't know, I think it's the perfect time. I, for a while, was getting very discouraged. Like I mentioned before, at the beginning of this season, that I was just in a rut. I just wasn't feeling myself. I wasn't feeling like I was making legitimate connections with anybody, that it was all just kind of surface level and for the benefit of that moment or for something that they needed. And after that, it just kind of goes by the wayside, and it started to weigh on me in ways that was like, I was like making myself feel like I wasn't good enough and everything. But I think that keeping with it and trying to push that stuff away, like understanding why I feel that way, or trying to anyway, like try to understand what it is that about the situation, about how things have been going, that's making me feel like it's not going the right way, or that things aren't legitimate. What is it about this stuff that's really bothering you? I'm just trying to take a step back and, I don't know, understand that you can't control everything. You can't, as hard as you try, you cannot make sure that everything's just going to be perfect and fine, and things are gonna leave off on the way that you wanted it. It's not always gonna work out that way, and sometimes it really sucks, and there's nothing you can do about it. But I think the more you try to understand that fact, the happier you'll be, and the more you kind of start to see that things just kind of fall into place. Like we recently just booked, I don't know, like confirmed like 4 shows in one day, and it kind of just like lined up the next few months for us, and it's kind of cool to see how things just kind of, you put in the work, people start to hit you up and ask you about shows and stuff instead of you just always trying to, you know, relentlessly ask people like, hey, can we play here? Hey, can we play here? Like, no, it's like now it's people understanding what it is that you're trying to put out, and they'll hit you up. They see that you're doing hard work and really trying to make something of it, and I don't know. It's just been really great and really refreshing lately to see that, because like I've mentioned it before, it's one of the things that's just kind of keeping me going at this moment. Playing music and being on stage, and not necessarily for whatever glitz and glamour that people want to think about it. Think like surface value of it. It's mostly the feeling I get just being free for 45 minutes, hour and a half, whatever it is. Just being on stage and having that sense of nothing else matters right now. None of my insecurities, none of my responsibilities, none of the problems that I normally have are here right now. They're there. Obviously, you can't just run from your problems, but in those moments when I'm on stage and we're just jamming and things are just flowing right, it's an escape. And I mean, it kind of sounds sad that I'm living for that kind of escape, but it's what I need to get through. It's what I must have to maintain that like fighting kind of spirit, I guess, for the rest of life and for all the other stuff that I'm going through. And for a while, I kind of did feel bad, and like that was a bad thing. But I'm happy I have that, and I'm grateful I have that, because if I didn't, what else would I have? I'm not really sure. I'm sure I would find something else, but I'm so fucking grateful for this whole musical experience that I get to live. I'm excited for the summer and festivals, and we've got some big shows coming up, and we're making our debut at the Reverb Lounge. That's going to be great, and playing with some bigger bands, and I'm just really excited to see where it goes. And none of this is for like my own kind of ego or anything like that. It's never ever been that. It's always just been, this is such a pure experience that brings me like happiness in a way that I don't experience anywhere else. And I've found out really early on that this is something I want to chase, and I'm going to chase it hard. There's people out here that just want to make music and still have their normal life, and that's it. They don't really want to do anything with it. But for me, I know that this is something I want to do constantly all the time, and I don't want to stay in one place. I do want to go out, and I want to tour, and I want to bring this feeling, this energy to as many people as I can, because I know there's people out there that feel just like me, and I don't know, it's the best feeling in the world to share and connect through music, and especially with jam band music or whatever you want to call it. A lot of it is very on the fly, and it's very just, what are we feeling tonight? And it comes out in the music, and I don't know, something about being able to share that with people, and when they get it, it's indescribable, and it's something I can't like put into words how much it means to me. And yeah, I guess that's the rant for today. Just I don't know. Music is amazing. I'm glad that you're here listening because you love this band and you love the people that I have on here, and that you're a fellow music fan. I that's It makes me happy. I'm glad we can connect that way. Um, if you haven't, check out Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast. Andy Frasco, he's a bit of a wild man, but he is, oh man, like there's a way that he can guide an interview and like just seem to like bring things out of people that they weren't even thinking that they were going to share maybe in that podcast or anything like that. But he's just got this way of talking and conversating with people that it just all sounds so natural, and it's what I want to do with this. He's got a lot of really great musical guests on there. If you're into the jam band scene, he's got a lot of familiar names on there, like pretty big names. People from Humphreys, people from Talk, Aqueous, Widespread, Leftover Salmon. You know, there's so many different people that he has on there, and they're like I said, he just gets some of the most like intimate details out of people that, in my experience doing this now for 10 episodes, I'm like, how the hell do you do that? Well, part of it, is just him. That's just his personality, and that's how he goes. But I don't know. It's really inspiring, and you should check it out. Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, pretty much anything. Should also check out, while you're checking people out, Goose. If you've talked to me anytime within like the last couple months, I've probably mentioned Goose if I've been talking to you about music or anything. I can't remember exactly where they're from, but Goose is this amazing up and coming jam band, and they've just been taking over. They've been taking over the scene so fast, blowing up, and I can see why. They jam so hard, but there's something about it, like their vocals are a little bit different, but it's interesting, and it seems like with their actual like song structure before they get into jams and stuff, I don't know, it's a lot more like lighthearted, I feel, than most jam band kind of stuff. And I don't know, I really enjoy it. So check out Goose. It is, spelled just like the animal goose. And I don't know, change your life with that. I'm going to play some music for you before we get into the interview. Again, we got Stone the Thrones here on the interview. They're here in Kearney, Nebraska. They play regularly at the other side, and they've been traveling all around, like eastern Nebraska. So like Omaha, Lincoln, I think Grand Island. I think they played in Grand Island before. But they're, kind of on this side of the state, but they try to expand as much as they can at the moment. So yeah, check them out on Facebook. Give them a like. They've got stuff on YouTube. They were recently on Basement Creators Network, so they've got a few videos on there, and then their full set of that show is on there as well. And it's very well done. Go check it out. It's cool. But yeah, I'm going to play some music from our show that I mentioned earlier that we played with them Wednesday at Duffy's. It forgot my microphone. I brought it with me, but I forgot it in the car, and I didn't have time to go out and grab it. And I feel like an idiot, but I still was able to record some of the set. Doesn't sound as amazing as it could.